Let's get right into it. Number 7, don't care what anyone thinks. On Instagram, it looks badass. But what if this attitude is the reason you feel more alone, more misunderstood, and always ready to snap at people? Just do you. Forget everybody else. Cool slogan. Terrible life strategy. Your brain is wired for connection. From a psychology standpoint, going numb to everyone's opinion doesn't make you free. It often makes you anxious and disconnected. When you tell yourself, I don't care what anyone thinks, you shut out feedback that could actually help you grow. You ignore red flags in your own behavior. You miss chances to fix misunderstandings. Over time, people stop being honest with you because you come off as untouchable or low-key arrogant. That lone wolf vibe gets cold fast. Here's the twist. Caring what everyone thinks is toxic. Caring about what no one thinks is also toxic. Healthy confidence is selective. I care what the right people think, those who know me, respect me, and genuinely want what's best for me. Ask yourself, are you truly free from judgment, or are you just scared of rejection, so you pretend nobody's opinion matters? You don't need to stop caring. You need to choose whose voice is allowed to live in your head. Number 6, practice makes perfect. You've heard this since you were a kid. But what if chasing perfect is the thing slowly convincing you that nothing you do is ever enough? Your brain hears perfect and sets the bar at impossible. No matter how much you improve, it still feels like you're failing, because there's always one more flaw, one more mistake, one more person doing it better. Psychology links this straight to perfectionism, not high standards, but a mindset where anything less than 100% feels worthless. And perfectionism is strongly tied to anxiety, burnout, procrastination, eating disorders, and depression. Here's the twist. A lot of people who look lazy or unmotivated aren't lazy at all. They're so scared of not being perfect that they don't even start. In countries like the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, we glorify grind culture. More reps, more hours, and no days off. But your brain doesn't need perfection. It needs repetition plus rest. That's how skills and confidence actually grow. So yes, practice matters. But chasing perfect is a rigged game. Try this instead. Practice makes progress. Progress is what rewires your brain, builds real self-belief, and keeps you in the game long enough to actually win. Number 5, fake it till you make it. Motivational quote on the surface. Mental health nightmare underneath. What if this is the real reason you feel like a fraud, even when you're actually doing kinda okay? The promise is simple. Act confident, talk big, and eventually you'll become that person. But your brain is not stupid. It keeps the receipts. It knows when you're faking. When you're constantly pretending to be more successful, happier, or more confident than you are, you create a gap between your real self and your performer self. Psychology calls this self-discrepancy. The bigger that gap gets, the more you feel like an imposter. You don't relax when you make it. You get more scared someone will finally see through you. This mindset can push you to lie about your skills, overpromise at work, spend money you don't have to look successful, or hide your struggles because strong people never break. That isn't confidence. That's anxiety wearing a costume. A healthier approach? Show up as a learner. Be brave enough to say, I don't know this yet, but I'm willing to learn. That kind of honesty builds real confidence, slowly, steadily, and without constantly looking over your shoulder. Number 4, follow your passion and everything will work out. What if that's the most expensive lie you were ever sold? You hear it in graduation speeches, TikToks, YouTube, everywhere. But for a lot of people, it leads straight to burnout and feeling low-key like a failure. In the US and other Western countries, we're sold this dream. Find your one true passion, quit your job, and somehow the universe will cover your rent. Psychology says that's a setup for disappointment and shame. When you believe passion alone guarantees success, you ignore 3 brutal realities: skills, market demand, and timing. So when your passion doesn't pay the bills, you don't just feel frustrated, you feel defective. What's wrong with me? Everyone else online is living their dream. This advice also feeds a fixed mindset. If you haven't found your passion yet, your brain decides, I must be broken, and you stop trying new things. A healthier version? Follow your curiosity, not a perfect passion. Test different paths, build skills. Notice what energizes you and what people actually value and pay for. Most people don't magically find their passion. They build it over time through practice, feedback, and small wins. You're not behind. You were just sold a nice story that forgot to include reality. Number 3, cut all toxic people out of your life. Sounds like self-care, right? But what if this everyone's toxic but me mindset is the reason your relationships never feel stable, deep, or safe? Online, we love this energy. One red flag and boom. Block, delete, ghost. No drama, no stress. But if everyone around you eventually becomes toxic, there's one common denominator. You. From a psychology angle, this advice often becomes pure avoidance. Instead of learning conflict skills, emotional regulation, and boundaries, you just run. Anyone who makes you uncomfortable gets labeled toxic, even if they're just being honest or holding you accountable. In the short term, you feel powerful. Long term, you feel alone, suspicious, and unsure who you can trust. And in real life, work, school, family, you can't just hit block on coworkers or relatives. If you never learn how to handle difficult but unavoidable people, you stay stuck and overwhelmed. That's not healing. That's self-sabotage dressed up as empowerment. The healthier move? Protect your energy, absolutely, but also learn to communicate. Set boundaries, say no, take space, and, only when truly necessary, walk away. Not everyone who upsets you is toxic. Some are just imperfect humans, just like you. Knowing that difference is what actually sets you free. Number 2, never give up no matter what. This sounds like peak motivation. But what if this mindset is exactly why you're stuck in a job you hate, a relationship that drains you, or a goal that's quietly wrecking your mental health? We're raised on this motto: winners never quit, quitters never win. But psychology has a name for staying in the wrong thing just because you've already invested so much: the sunk cost fallacy. Your brain says, I've put in years, money, and effort. I can't walk away now. So you keep pouring your time and energy into something that clearly isn't working, while your self-respect and mental health quietly bleed out. The more miserable you feel, the more you double down. You don't want to admit it isn't right for you, so you hustle harder. That's not grit. That's self-sabotage disguised as discipline. Healthy persistence isn't never give up. It's don't give up on the right things. Sometimes the smartest, bravest move is to say, this season is over. I'm allowed to change my mind. Quitting the wrong thing isn't losing. It's how you finally create space for the right thing to show up. Number 1, just think positive. What if this good vibes only stuff is actually making your anxiety worse and messing with your head? In the States, we treat positivity like a personality, but psychologically, it can turn into a straight-up trap. It sounds harmless, even inspiring. But when you force yourself to stay positive 24/7, you're not being strong. You're avoiding reality. You're basically telling your brain, those feelings, not allowed, and your brain will fight back. Suppressing so-called negative emotions doesn't make them disappear. They leak out as anxiety, random anger, burnout, sleep problems, and even physical pain. And slowly, you start thinking there's something wrong with you just for feeling sad, hurt, or angry. You're sad? I should be grateful. You're angry. Good vibes only. That's not a mindset. That's gaslighting yourself. Real emotional strength isn't pretending everything is fine. It's being able to say, yeah, this sucks, and then choosing what to do next. So instead of just think positive, try let me be honest about how I feel, then take one small, helpful action. Pretending you're okay is not the same as being okay, and your brain knows the difference. Stop slapping a fake smile on real pain and calling it growth. So which of these good pieces of advice hurt you the most? Tell me in the comments, and if this video helped you, hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.